professor in the Department of CSC IIIT Dharwad. He has done PhD in computer science and engineering from NIT Raipur and master in computer science from NIT Kurukshetra. His research work includes cloud computing, distributed computing, and integration of AI, MLDL in cloud computing. He has published numerous articles in high impact journals and conferences in the area of security, privacy issues in cloud computing, task scheduling in distributed computing, IoT applications, machine learning, and deep learning applications. With this very short introduction, now I'd like our expert, Dr. Malay Kumar, to take over the session. So please.
Absolutely. Uh, Thank you, Dr. Sunil, for a very nice introduction. So guys, I hope you people have learned a lot in the area of machine learning and deep learning in past 4 or 5 days. And moreover, my session is maybe the one of the last session or the end session towards the end of this FTP program. And I would like to give you a picture, a glimpse, like how we can execute the machine learning work, the deep learning applications, or whatever task you want to do with the help of machine learning and deep learning, with the help of cloud computing, or in other words, you can say how you can execute machine learning and deep learning applications in the cloud computing. So like there are multiple way of doing the things. Like the one is, what is the purpose? The first thing is we have to understand what is the purpose for cloud computing. Why we are executing our work in a cloud environment, the very first thing. Another thing, what is the benefit if we are executing our work in cloud computing? The third thing, how cloud computing facilitates us to executing or performing the deep learning or machine learning application. So we will see those things one by one. I hope many of you have some basic understanding of cloud computing, or moreover, you have heard about the cloud computing somewhere while doing your study or research work. So I'm sharing my screen. My screen is visible to everyone. My screen is visible to everyone. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible. Visible.
Okay. Okay, guys. So the outline of this presentation is, first I will introduce you about the cloud computing. So since the timeline of this entire presentation is like very small, so I will try to cover all these things in very brief. I am not going into the formal definition and then the categorization and detailed about the cloud computing. I just directly show you how the public vendor like Amazon AWS or Google Cloud Compute or Microsoft Azure provides you the cloud computing services. Then we will try to inspect, more importantly, in the Amazon Web Services about the Amazon Recognition Engine, Amazon Comprehend Engine, Translate, Transcribe, SageMaker. Then we will also see how we are able to execute our machine learning work in the Google Colaboratory. Okay. So the first thing is, what is cloud computing? The first thing is, what is cloud computing? As you people already know, whenever we are using a computing node, a personal computing node, whether it's our desktop or our mobile devices, handheld mobile devices, these systems have an inherent issue that if you have purchased a device, it has some specific amount of computing resource. Let's say from the market, you had purchased a high-end laptop or a desktop system, and it had i7 latest generation processor, maybe 8 GB or 16 GB of RAM, 1 TB of solid state drive, and other things. Okay, then you had started executing your machine learning or deep learning work. What happens after some time? You are trying to learn or try to model a model on a big data set. Meanwhile, you are experiencing that your system is taking too much time, too much time to learn this data set because you have limited amount of computing facility. Means you have single system i7. You have a desktop machine of a single i7 processor. Whether it is possible for you to increase this system on a go, means since you have generated a requirement that you need an additional i7 system or a Xenon processor, whether it is possible that particular demand could be filled in a very short notice. That is not possible. You will again reconfigure your system capability and purchase additional computing resources from the market and install them into your traditional machine. Then only possibly you are able to execute the work. So what cloud computing do? Cloud computing offer you the computing facilities. Cloud computing offer you the computing facility in on demand. Means whenever you generate a demand for additional computing resources, it could be anything. When I am talking about a computing resources, it could be anything, whether it's a additional computing power, means CPU resources, or GPU resources, additional main memory, means if you want an extra main memory slot, means RAM. You need storage services, or you need networking services. You could be think about any computing service. Everything is offered over the cloud computing. I am not giving the formal definition of cloud computing, how it is categorized and which all characteristic service should have, then it's qualify for a cloud computing. But in a simple language, you can think about the cloud that a system, if it is physically available to you, you are able to touch that system, feel that system. That is the traditional computing environment. If you are using a computing facility in a virtual manner over the internet, that facility is known as cloud computing. That's a simple definition. Okay, so let's try to inspect few of the services given by the famous cloud vendors. So here I am quoting all the examples mostly from the Amazon AWS. Okay, so let's see what kind of services AWS Amazon offer to the clients. So guys, this is the AWS management console. Whenever you log in, whenever you log in to AWS, the console will look like this. Okay, so for that purpose, just go to the Google and type AWS, Amazon Web Services. Okay, you will land to the Amazon Web Services portal, and from Amazon Web Services portal, what you have to do, you have to just create your credentials, means a login ID and with a password. Okay, with a small amount of registration, you have to fill a registration form, simple registration form as we, whenever it's needed to create a login and password for any other website also. So similar kind of thing. And then we are logging for a free tier. You are able to see this free tier. So we are logging for a free tier system. Once you have done, you are able to log in.
Sir, excuse me,
Yes.
sir. Your screen is not visible, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Now it is okay. Now it is okay.
It was okay, but again the blank screen has appeared.
No, sir, still not visible.
I mean,
Okay.
the black screen.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Maybe I had open in a new tab. That's why it's happened. Just a minute. Now it is okay.
Yes, sir. AWS Management Console.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
the-
yes. So what you have to do, just type AWS on the Google search. Okay, you will land to Amazon website. It will look like something like this. From here, since I had already logged in, it has landed me to the Amazon Management Console. What you have to do, you have to create your login, then it will allow you to work in the enter into the AWS Management Console. Okay, once you have entered into the Management Console, the very first thing is, let's inspect this entire console. Okay, let's inspect this entire console, or in other words, let's see what kind of services AWS Amazon is offering to its client. Okay, so since today's theme of our presentation is towards the machine learning, so we will moreover interested in the machine learning operations. Okay, although it's offer the compute services, you are able to see the compute services. This is the first compute services. In the compute services, it's offer EC2, Lightsail, Lambda, Batch, and in other kind of services also. Most importantly, the EC2, the full form of EC2 is Elastic Cloud Compute. So EC2 is a service which is offered by AWS for the purpose to launch a virtual machine in the AWS servers. Means whenever you need an extra computing resource, with the help of EC2 service, you can launch this. What you have to do, you have to go into instances, then you have to go into the launch instance, then it will land it to here. This will show you the AWS marketplace. Okay, and in the marketplace, it will give you all kind of applications, which are all kind of machines which are available, and you can launch them one by one. Okay, for that purpose, the very first thing is we will choose a particular kind of machine, and from there we will configure our machine. Okay, so I am not going into this detail because we will not able to cover the machine learning aspects. Okay, just my work is to introduce about the EC2. Okay, then the S3 services, this is the simple storage service. Whenever you need a extra storage space to save your work, to store your data, you will come to the Amazon S3. In the Amazon S3, whenever you needed to store your data, you have to first create a bucket. Similarly, in the real world, in the bucket we are able to store the water. Similarly, here also we will create the bucket. The first we will give the bucket name. Okay, and then finally, these are all. Hello.
Huh?
Any question?
Insert
From
basic.
here, there are different kind of policies that we have to look on that, and most importantly, when you are first time creating a bucket, leave everything as a default and then go and create the bucket. Once you had created the bucket, you are just mute your mic.
Observation రాయమని చెప్పు. ఫోన్ తెచ్చుకోలేదా?
Guys, just mute your mic.
వేసినా కూడా ఏం చెప్పలేము కదా. తెచ్చుకోకు.
Who is this? Just mute your mic.
1 second, sir. I'll do that. I'll do that.
No. Okay, let's move forward. So here you can see that from here you are able to create the simple storage or able to store your extra amount of data set in the cloud compute. The next thing, although there are many other things also that you can go in, like the database instances, different kind of database services, then AWS migration and transfer services, then customer implementation services, then blockchain services, then satellite services, quantum technology, management and governance, then machine learning services, front end web and mobile development services, augmented reality and virtual reality services, application integration, AWS cost management, analytics, customer engagement, business application. So there are around hundreds of services which are directly provided by the AWS to its client. Okay, so as I had said in the starting, that when you are using the cloud, it's provide you a simpler way of doing the same thing. Just think about a situation that you have to perform a computer vision operation. You have to perform a computer vision operation. So as soon as I discuss about the computer vision, what come into your mind? Okay, I am going to do something with the image or video. I am going to do something with image or video or multimedia data. For that purpose, you have to very good understanding of machine learning, deep learning and neural net. Okay, then only you are able to perform computer vision operation. What I say you, there is no need, even if you have not understood those concepts, still you have able to do the computer vision operation with the help of cloud computing services. So in that direction, a very first service which is very famous is provided by Amazon Recognition. Is provided by Amazon Recognition. So Amazon Recognition is a service provided by Amazon AWS, which allow you to perform object and scene detection, which allows you to perform object and scene detection. Means if there is an image, in that image there are multiple objects, if in that image there are multiple objects, this service directly provides you the detection of objects present in the image without need of, okay, just understand this line, without need of any kind of understanding of AI, ML or deep learning. Just what you have to do, either you will perform these operations using the AWS console, however that is not the recommended way to perform these kind of operation. And another way of doing the operation is programmatic. Means you have written a program, you had paused the image, and then you had called the Amazon Recognition API, and then you had detected the object and scenes present into the image. Another kind of service which is offered by Amazon Recognition is the facial analysis. In the facial analysis, as you had known, that it will analyze whether the face present in the image is a male, female, is happy, sad. Means it will also analyze the emotion recognition. If the image have beard, clean face, mustaches, eyes open, lips, everything, it will analyze your face, it will analyze the face present into the image. For that purpose, there are a variety of algorithms available for that, for facial analysis. Still, the kind of training which performed in the Amazon Web Services is not possible at your low end or personal machines. So these systems are already well trained. Just what you have to do, you have to call the APIs and you are allowed, you can directly use those services. Another service of Amazon Recognition is face comparison. Means, let's say this is an image 1 and then there is an image 2. What happens, let's say now let's think in the direction where we can build some working example. Let's say there is a criminal, okay, and you have an image of that criminal. And then that criminal has appeared in some social gathering or some gaming event or something like that, where you have applied this Amazon Recognition service with the help of IoT applications. Means with the help of some camera which is performing a real-time detection of the face. So in this gathering, there is lot number of persons are available. So you are feeding your system you are feeding your system, means you had already trained your system with this image, and if that person is available in this image, it will give you it will give you the match that this particular person is available in the image. That is what happened in the face comparison. Then face recognition. Face recognition means, let's say there are hundreds or thousands of celebrities, some celebrity which belong to our country we know, but if there is some celebrity which is from some other country, we don't know those kind of celebrity, what we will do? So the Amazon recognition services also provide you the service of face recognition, and along with the recognition of these individual objects, facial analysis, comparison, everything, it will also give you the confidence score, means on which confidence your learning algorithm is able to detect an object, scene, face, and individual celebrities present in an image. Clear to everyone? So this particular thing, this AWS Amazon recognition, you can directly do on the website, means on using the AWS console. Another way of doing that is by programmatic, that we will also see that how we can call the API and then perform the object or scene detection using our programs. Clear to everyone? Anything you want to ask? Okay, let's move forward. Then there is another service, that is AWS Comprehend. In the AWS Comprehend, this is the first one service is for image recognition. All the services either perform over the image or the video, means analysis of image and video. This particular service performed over the text, means here we are going to perform the text analysis. The text analysis. So Amazon Comprehend uses natural language processing or NLP to extract insight about the content of the documents, As you already know, working on text mining or performing text analysis using the natural language processing or grammar. Okay, so it also have a variety or number of algorithms which could be applied for the purpose of the text analysis, and even we have to perform all the steps of machine learning and deep learning. So this AWS Comprehend service of Amazon, it's provide you ready-made comprehension service. There is no need that even you are not in the position that you had understand all the nitty-gritty of machine learning and deep learning, still you are able to perform that just by calling the APIs of AWS Comprehend. Okay, so let's see what kind of things it is able to do. As you can see in the real world, that unstructured text information is growing exponentially. So most of the information is embedded in these unstructured text. Okay, so using the AI and ML, we will try to infer, we will try to extract some meaningful information from these text data. As you had seen, that if there is a chat of, let's say, 500 or thousands of page, and you want to just collect some meaningful information or infer some meaningful information from that file, how you will do that? So by insight, by looking into that text data. Okay, for that purpose, it has given you, the AWS Comprehend given you to understand the entities. Means first understand the entity. An entity is the textual reference to unique name. An entity is the textual reference to unique names of real world objects, such as people. When you apply, it will detect if a person name is available, of or people is available, or place is available, or any commercial item, or any commercial item is written or available in the text. Okay, so let's say, for example, it has written John moved to 1313 Mockingbird Lane in 2012. So when you apply the AWS Comprehend for this text or this one line sentence, it will give you that John might be recognized as a person, 1313 Mockingbird Lane will be recognized as location, and 2000 might be recognized as date. Okay, so just by passing this one line of text, you are able to know, or you are able to insight what is written in this text. Okay, so each entity also, along with like recognizing this, each entity also has scores. They will give the confidence score that indicates the level of confidence that Amazon Comprehend has, that it correctly detect the entity type. It has correctly detect the entity type. Okay, rather than this simple name, if there is some name which is not in English, let's say this particular model is trained for English language. If this name is not written as John, it has written it some in other language, definitely the confidence score will be lower, because this model is trained for English language. Okay, so that kind of things also may happen, that you can model your result based on the confidence score. The very first thing that you can do with the AWS Comprehend is the key phrase analysis. The very first thing that you can do with the AWS Comprehend is key phrase analysis. Means a key phrase is a string containing a noun phrase, that describes a particular thing. It generally consists of noun and the modifier that distinguishes it. Like if in your sentence it is written as a beautiful day, so that particular noun phrase will be recognized by the AWS Comprehend. Similarly, it will also analyze the dominant language present into the text. In this text, since it is written in the English, so the output will be that this sentence is written in English. Similarly, it is also able to analyze the sentiment of the language. It is also able to recognize the sentiment of the sentence. That is also known as a sentiment analysis. So this will give you this text is a positive. The sentiment of this text is positive, neutral, or negative. Okay. So these kind of things we are able to do with the AWS Comprehend. Then the other service. Let's move towards the other service. The other service is AWS Translate. So guys, before going to discuss about the AWS Translate, let's see about how the AWS recognition and AWS comprehend work in the real world environment. Okay, so I'm switching to my laptop. Just give me a minute. Okay guys, so let's see how these things could be possible in the real world scenario. So my screen is visible, I hope. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
So we will move to the AWS recognition. In the AWS recognition, they have already included a number of demos where you can see that, like on this particular image, just see all the boundary boxes. Just see all the boundary boxes as you had feed it to the engine, as we had feed an image to the engine, it has already automatically recognized the cars which are present into the image. Okay, it has also giving you the label of automobiles, the vehicle, and also there is a person or human present in the image. Similarly, it could be possible it is giving other labels with a lower confidence level. So you can even model your output based on the confidence score. If the confidence score is more than 95 or more than 98%, then only you will include those things in your output, rather than the demo which is included with the AWS recognition. Let's feed our own image. We are going to feed our own image, then see what kind of output and what kind of accuracy this AWS Amazon recognition is giving to us. So this is a simple image of a city. So this is an image of city, okay, and it's include the skyscrapers, or rather than this, let's take this example, okay. A lot of pedestrian who was crossing the zebra crossing, okay, on a busy road, on a busy cross section. Let's feed this image. So it is analyzing. After the analysis, it had created the boundary boxes. you can see that with the 99.9% confidence, it is saying that the persons are pedestrians. Okay, no, and then these are the human beings or the person. So 99% with the confidence it is saying those things. Then road, then the road is asphalt road. Okay, then clothings, they had weird pant, denim, and the location is urban. So those kind of things you can see, but they have lower confidence score. So based on your use case, you can include or exclude the levels which is given by this engine. So as you had already understood, like whatever we are feeding the image, it is giving us the output. Okay, but this is not the recommended way of doing thing. It is not like if you are creating some software, if you want to include this service in your use case, or in some of the real world example, definitely you want to do with the help of API or programmatically. So the next thing that we will see, that before doing that, let's see what other kind of things this Amazon recognition engine could do. Okay, another thing which this offer is the image moderation. As you had seen in the Facebook, like whenever there is an image, which includes something which is not allowed in the country, or which is not a general image. Okay, maybe it contains some violence, maybe some explicit obscene material, something kind of thing. So that image become blur. So that kind of thing is known as image moderation services. So there are two kind of image moderation service. The first one is the suggestive content. So most of the image moderation services is the suggestive content. It suggests you whether you want to open it or not. Okay, so there is an image and it include a few persons, few people. Okay, and we had applied this image moderation service on that image. When you open this, it is not giving you any level, because it doesn't include anything which should not be there. Okay, however, if you feed this recognition service a image which required moderation, let's say I am going to feed this image which include some kind of material, or maybe some violent material. So either I am going to feed this gun, okay, or maybe this kind of content. Okay, and let's try to see what kind of output it is giving to us. Are you able to see that in the first image it has not returned anything to us? Because the first image is a picnic of a family, a family photo, that the family was somewhere on the picnic. So there is nothing in that image, there is nothing which you do not want to see. But in this image, it directly suggests you, before opening the image, it directly suggests you it includes violence, violent weapons. Okay, if you are able to see that. So if you had made some software or some service based on this AWS recognition, you can directly pass a message to your client whether you want to open this image or not. So in this way, you can offer the image moderation services. Okay, even after that, if your client want to see that image, he can directly go and see that image. Another use case of image moderation is that, let's say you had made a social networking site or something, a content website where hundreds or thousands of images are continuously uploading. So definitely you do not want to keep all those images on your website. Okay, and also you have like some kind of signatory from the government or other organization. So what you will do, how you will drop those kind of content. So for that purpose, we will do the image moderation. So let's say some images are something that just needed some kind of moderation, means if there is a content which is something like 18 plus. So 18 plus person, if the person has just given you the undertaking that he is 18 plus, he is allowed to see that. But any other kind of image that you can simply drop by using the services of image moderation. Then facial analysis. So by looking at the face, by looking at this face, it will give you that the person present into the image is a male or female. It's all the demographic data, means what could be its age, whether he is smiling, whether it's contain mustaches, beard, face, and glasses, and other kind of things. So it will include most of the analysis which includes analysis on the face. Okay, also it's offer a very good service is that it able to recognize the celebrities present, into the image. Okay, so how you can use that service? So this is the face of Jeff Bezos. Okay, let's pass another image. Let's say Virat. Okay. So with 100% confidence, it is able to recognize that this celebrity is Virat Kohli. Okay. Similarly, another service is the face recognition. So this service is very important service and oftenly used by the police department and other services, so that they are able to recognize the criminals. Okay, and also there could be possible many other use cases. Here you can see that in the first image, girl is smiling, and then there is another image where is a group of girls. So now we are going to perform the comparison. So in the comparison, you can see that the similarity score for this girl is 99%. Similarity score for this girl to this girl is this girl is not that girl, so that is why not equal to request. Similarly, we are going to see, let's try with our own data set and let's see what kind of confidence score, what kind of similarity score it is given. So with the same image, I am going to do that. So you can see that this image is although blur and also its resolution is very low, still it is able to recognize Virat into the group of men in the Indian team. So this kind of face comparison service is also offered. Another kind of service which also these days become important, that the text which is present into the image, if there is any text which is present into the image, it is able to read that text. It is able to read that text. Okay, so in this text, in this image, this text is available. So using the text recognition service, it also read out the text which is available. So let's try to see, as we had seen all those services using this using the console, whether it is possible by using the programs, how we can use these services by using a program. Okay, for that purpose, what you have to do, guys, I am audible because I am not getting any response, that's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, what you have to do at the very first time, you have to go into the security, identity and compliance. Okay, you have to go into the security, identity and compliance. Then in the identity access management, in the identity access management, what you have to do, you have to create some user. You have to create some user, as I had created 2 users, like administrator and with my name, that is Malay. Okay, and also I had given him the administrative privilege. Although it is not recommended to give the administrative privilege to everyone. Okay, what you have to do, you have to create a user and then you have to give him the privilege of the service, or you can say the authorization of the service which a particular user or software is intended to use. Okay, so I'm just trying to create a demo user, and then it will, we have to give him access type. So I am giving him the programming access. Programmatic access means this particular user will allow to enter into the AWS cloud using the access key ID and the secret access key. And also I am giving him the AWS management console, means I am giving him that just by typing the password, means by the website. Okay, he is allowed to enter into the AWS cloud computing by the website. Okay, then you can give him some auto generated password. So the simplest password that I use regularly, that I am just giving him, so I'm able to remember that password. After that, the next permission. The next this particular step is more important than the previous one, that was the direct. Here what you have to give, you have to include this user, you have to include this user into some group. So since I had created 2 groups, that is administrator and developer group, so don't give all the users to the administrative privilege. Okay, because if you are giving everyone the administrative privilege, that is not permitted. Okay, you don't want to give like try to understand it like that. There is a teacher and a group of students. Okay, and the teacher has uploaded the grades in the S3 in the service in the simple storage system. So what the user, what kind of privileges the teacher give to the students? He will just give the view permission to the user, so that they are not in the position to modify the result. So that kind of thing. Since our client just want to use the recognition engine, we will give him the privileges of the recognition. Okay, so here I am creating a group again, a group also, and let give the group name a machine, and after that there are many policies which are included here. From these policies, there are policies which are related to AWS recognition. For the time being, I am giving this group machine learning a full access of AWS recognition. Then I had created the group, and then the user that I had created, I am associating to the machine learning. Okay. So this is just an optional. You can see that from here, optional. So you can skip this, skip here. And after that, it will create. Once it has created, since we are going to access the AWS recognition using programs, so we need the access key ID and the secret access key. So what we will do, we'll download that. Okay, we'll download the access key ID and the secret access key. Okay, once you had downloaded the secret access key, the next thing is, let's try to do the programmatic access. So you can use anything just for writing these programs. The very first thing is, there is a library that is known as Boto3 library. A library which is Boto3 library, which include all the machine learning APIs, which includes whenever you have to call a machine learning APIs, you have to include the methods of Boto3 library. So just inspect first the Boto3 library. In the Boto3 library, you have to go to the recognition. In the recognition, there are variety of methods that you can apply over the images. Okay, over the images. So we are starting with the simpler one, like the program is written for get labels. Get labels, or you, in other words, the boundary box, the objects which is detected in the image. So once you had entered into the AWS that I will show you, after that you have to create a client. You have to create a client with method name as detect label, and in that detect label method we will pass the image. We will pass the image as the bytecode, That particular image either could be in your local machine, if you are uploading that image from your local machine to the Amazon recognition engine. Another way of doing the same thing is like that. It is possible, like if you have like let's say 10 or 100 images, that is definitely possible using the looping, that you can uploading it from your personal device. But let's say you are applying the recognition service on millions of images. So that kind of storage service is not available on your local machine. For that purpose, they had also given you to direct access of the images stored in the S3 buckets, and then the max level and the min confidence means how many levels. Let's say a particular image have hundreds of objects, and also after running this recognition API, it will give you the object and its confidence score. But if the confidence score is very low, so there is no meaning of including those objects into your result. So what we will do, we will restrict our result to the top priorities, to the top priority confidence. So let's see the things one by one. So we had imported the Boto3 library and the CSV. Then we have open our credentials, the one that I had downloaded. So this is the credential file. So just I am showing you how the credential file look like. Okay, so this is a credential file. So you are able to see that a credential file have the access key. So this is the access key and this is the secret access key. So it is, you can understand as a username and password. Okay. So it is always advisable to not to include the username or password in your hard codes. It is not advisable to you to write the username and password here in the hard coded way. So that is why we are using the same thing in the programmatic way. So what we had done, we had opened the file, this new user credential file. So that was not the file, the actual file. This was the actual file. In this actual file, you can see the access key and the secret access key and the login console. So we are just interested in these two things. Okay. After that, we had opened this file in the read mode as input. Then since the data is available in the next line, so this was the first line. We do not want to read this particular first line. Okay, so just I'm skipping this first line. So for skipping the first line, what we will do, next input. So we are just skipped the first row. We had come to the next row. Then we had started reading. We had reading that CSV reader input. In that CSV reader input, you can see that it have number of column and the column start from 0. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So we had read the line number 2 and the line number 3 in the secret access key ID and the access key ID. Then I had passed an image that is recognition.png. So just remember that it will also always advisable to take the image either in JPG format or PNG format. Then I had created a client. Okay, I had created a client. I had initiated the service, that is the recognition service. Then I had passed the access key ID and the secret access key. Then it is advisable, it is needed to convert the image into the byte format. So that is why in RB format, that is the byte format. Okay, so that image has converted and stored into the byte format, and finally that format is given to feed to the engine. Okay, so finally I had called the method detect labels, means the objects which are present into the image. Once you had done that, so I had also told that only I want 3 labels which have the confidence level more than 90, then only return those labels. Okay, finally we are printing the response. Let's run this program. It will take some time. So the same image that I had uploaded, the image which includes the image which includes the pedestrian. I am opening that image, that will be help you out to understand. So this was the image that we are feeding it. So in that image, the same kind of result that we had get in the console mode, we will also get in the programmatic way. Okay. So again, it is giving with the confidence score of 99% that it includes the pedestrians. Then it includes the road with the confidence score of 99%. Then it includes the tarmac with the confidence score of 99%. Similarly, since we had just contain the level up to 3, you can even increase the level, so it will give you more number of levels. Okay, so again you can run it. When you run it, it will give you more number of levels. Guys, anything you want to ask in this program? Although it's a very much a direct one, so moreover few of you are not able to cope up with that. What happens here? Anything? Any response from your side?
So there is a difference between Colab and this one, sir. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Colab is a configurable service. If I told you to like just configure your own dataset for the recognition engine, so that is not possible. That kind of variation or that kind of addition is not possible with the recognition. If you want to perform your own tailor-made machine learning operation, so that is not possible with the recognition. What is happening, the kind of services the AWS offer, that we have to use that. Okay, if you want to perform a fully configurable machine learning operation, so we have to use the Amazon SageMaker. In the SageMaker, that is equivalent, or you can say the same kind of service as we are using in the Colab. In the Colab, if you had used the Colab, you already know that we had to write the codes. We had to write the codes. We had to perform the learn so that our model will learn. Then finally we will perform the testing operation. Okay, we have to write the entire algorithm. But here we are not doing anything. We are just feeding our data, means we are feeding our data, test data to already learned method, and finally we are just getting the output. Okay.
So yes, sir, all algorithms are available. CNN and all deep learning, also machine learning, all algorithms is already available there.
These are the services. It is not the algorithm. You had not seen in that. I had yet not talked about any algorithm. What I had since starting, what I am saying,
Services.
even if you are not knowing any algorithm, even AWS Amazon has not revealed what sort of algorithm they had applied for these analysis. Okay, even you go in the recognition, they had not revealed. Okay, they had not revealed that which algorithm, which tuning parameter, which whether they had applied the CNN or some other advanced network for this purpose. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's move forward towards another service. I hope you people are able to do at least the recognition. And if you are not able to do that, you can go with the this Boto 3 library, and they had included the example codes and sample tutorials. They had included the codes and the simple tutorial. From here you can just try to do these things. Okay, and also if you go into the Amazon recognition, so they had also included the tutorial. So from here you can also go and use the recognition service. Let's move towards the other services. The other service is Amazon Comprehend. So what Amazon Comprehend do, it read the text data. It read the text data. Similarly, the recognition service, it reads your multimedia data and try to comprehend the meaningful information available in the multimedia data. Similarly, the comprehend, you will feed the engine the text data and the engine will comprehend the meaningful information available in your text. Okay. So they had two comprehend service. The one is like a generalized comprehend service, and another one is the dedicated medical service. So if your text data is having a lot of medical information, still it will able to comprehend from those medical data. Or you can say the technical words which a general public is not able to understand, but still this AWS engine, comprehend engine, is able to do that. A lot amount of research work is going on these natural language processing, where we have to just incite the text data. Okay. So let's try to do a simple analysis. So this particular data has already feeded. Okay. So there is a lot of information in this data. So there is two way you can like give an insight, or you have able to understand what is written into the text, is that either you read it manually or just feed it to the comprehend engine. So let's analyze it. So if you had analyzed, so you can see that the entities present into this text. So Zhang Wei, there is a name. It categorized as a person with a confidence score of 99%. Similarly, any company, financial services LLC, that is an organization with a confidence score of 99%. Similarly, this particular number has not categorized, so it is fall into the other. Then 24.53, it's a quantity, then date. Similarly, location and other things. Okay. There is further categorization of words, that is key phrases. What are the key phrases available in this text? So the key phrases, the name, the company name, the LLC or the credit card, the numbers. So that is fall into the category of key phrases available. Then the language in which this particular data has been written. So it will show you the dominant language is English. Similarly, the sentiment, so sentiment is a neutral. Okay, so all kind of text analysis that is ready-made is provided by the AWS. Okay, so let's try to do something. Although I had not included everything in the programmatic. Okay, so we have to follow the same way of programming as we had covered for the recognition. So just what I am going to do, I just try to identify the language in which the text has been written. So the same similar line, this program is also written on the similar line. So I am just skipping those explanations that had included for the last line of programs. We had called all the libraries, then we had entered into the access key ID and the secret access key in the all the secret access key and the access key. for entering into the cloud environment. And then finally, we are passing this statement, that is, it is raining in the Seattle. It is raining in the Seattle. So if it is raining in the Seattle, okay, that we had passing. We had created a client and we had called the comprehend engine. We had called the comprehend engine. Then we had called the method detect dominant language. Detect dominant language. Okay, so let's try to look at that and which particular language this statement, this first line is written. Okay, so when you run this, this will give you that this line is written in English. So this was the output. If you read this output, it will give you the language code EN for English, with the score of 99.58. Okay, so all the things we can also do programmatically, that we are doing with the use of console. Okay, so this is what I was trying to do, is that give you an initiation, that give you an initialization how you can do the machine learning operations using the cloud, even if you had not a very good understanding of all the AI and ML algorithm. Another thing is that in today's environment, when everything is integrated, everything is integrated, so what the companies are doing, when they have an idea and they want to launch some product into the market, it should take a minimum amount of time to come into the market. For that purpose, they use this tailor-made or ready-made services. They use the tailor-made or the ready-made services for launching their services. Okay, the last, although my presentation also include just a minute. My presentation also includes 2 more services along with comprehend. I'm just giving you the introduction about that. The translate service of Amazon, what it will do, that if you are giving a feed of a language, let's say we are giving the input in English, and then you want to convert the English language into some target language, let's say in any regional language, whether it's Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, anything. So that's this translate service directly convert your English text into Hindi, English, or any other language. Similarly, the Amazon transcribe service. The Amazon transcribe service offer you that it will perform a speech to text conversion. Okay, so how this is also important. Let's say that some person is not able to speak in a language which is understandable to the audience. Okay, so you can use the Amazon transcribe service for a real-time transcription. It will provide you the real-time transcription, as whenever we are using the English movies or movies in some other languages. So we use this transcribe service. We use the transcribe service, although it's already include a text file, but this AWS transcribe will give you the real-time transcription of the audio and the video. And finally, there is one more service that I had included. So the problem with these service, that they are ready-made offered by the Amazon AWS. It's not possible for you to perform learning, testing, and deploy. Okay, to train, test, and deploy your own algorithm, your own model. To perform training, testing, and deployment of your own model, it will also offer you the infrastructure service that is known as Amazon SageMaker. That is known as Amazon SageMaker. So I'm just going to demonstrate quickly the Amazon SageMaker. And this Google Colabs is very similar service to the Amazon SageMaker. So maybe we can skip that. So what you have to do, just go into the Amazon SageMaker. Then you have to go into the network instances. Although it's offer many other services also. Then you have to create a notebook instance. Although I had already created a notebook instance, so just I am showing you how to create a notebook instance. You have to give a name of the notebook instance. Then there is a number of machines which are available. There are number of virtual machines which are available where your notebook instance will run. So starting from the minimum, that is a T2.medium. If you want to know the configuration of these machines, just you have to go to the AWS Marketplace where they had written all the types of machine. So as you go down, we will go into the large machines. Okay. So even it's include the GPU and the very large CPU system. Okay, so since I am using the free tier system, so we are just allowed to use this one. Okay, if you are using any other one, they will charge. Other things, just you can leave it by default for the demonstration or for the understanding purpose. Okay. So from here, you can just create a notebook instance. So I'm not going to create a new notebook instance since I had already created. Okay. So this way you can just create a new notebook instance. Once you had created the notebook instance, it will come like this. Then from here, you can open the Jupyter Lab. Once the Jupyter Lab has opened, it is similar. It is very similar as you are using in your own personal machine. It is become similar as you are using in your own personal machine. A very simple example I had written for you people. Okay. So this was the example. It is running in cloud. Okay. It is running in cloud that I had created. So just a simple regression analysis just to show that even if you write on this Jupyter machine, it will run in the similar way as it is running on your personal desktop system. Okay. Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to ask?
Any question? Thank you so much. First of all, sir, any question from the participant? Thank you so much, sir, for such a nice introduction. This was really important because some of the participants is not from the computer background. So definitely it will take time for them to understand the AI ML algorithm, then to write the code by their own hand, right? So in that case, I guess these Amazon services are quite helpful if they want to do some stuff with the ML and DL. So really, it was a really very informative session, and particularly the way you have given the demo, it is really understood, hopefully, to all of us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I think all the participants are also commenting the same thing in the chat box, that the session was really informative. For like a participant, if suppose you have missed something just because we have gone through these services for the first time, I'll be sharing you the recorded session, and then you can go through it and you can enhance your knowledge. Right. Thank you so much, sir, for
thank you, everyone.
connecting with us.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Tanui.
Thank you, sir. Well, okay, fine. So we have already 10 minutes past to our scheduled time, right? So, okay, so we are going to take a break of 1 hour because we are going to meet again at 2 o'clock. It's almost 1. So have your lunch and come back quickly, and we'll have as soon we'll connect in the third session, we'll have the assessment. Again, I'm mentioning, as I mentioned before, there will be a 15 questions link I will give here also. I mean, in the Google Meet chat box, I'll share the link here, and as well as I'll share the Google question link in the WhatsApp group, whatever we have created, in that also. Okay, in the sharp at 2:05, I'll share the link. You will be given 35 minutes. So by 2:40, you will have to submit. After that, the form will not accept the response. Okay, it will be deactivated. So please submit your questions, assessment form before the time. Okay, and then we'll have for 15-20 minutes or 25 minutes in that we'll have the feedback session from you, which I really want to know that how exactly you felt about the FDP and all. And then at last for the valedictory, I have invited Dr. Chanappa B. Akki, who is registrar of IIIT Dharwad. Mostly he will connect with us, and then we'll conclude our FDP. Right, so okay, we'll take our lunch break quickly. So it will take 1 hour for us to come back. Thank you so much, all of you. Please connect. Do not miss. This is the last session. Please do not miss. And this is the most important session because assessment you have to write at any cost. Right? Fine. We'll come back at 2 o'clock and we'll connect again. Thank you so much, all of you.